Hi, I'm Filippo, and welcome to Life Changes. Today we're here at the Napoleon Hill Foundation premiere of 3 Feet from Gold. And we are presented also by Off Hollywood Media. And today we are interviewing Jairek Robbins, who is a coach and a speaker and a motivational everything, actually. And the good thing about you, what I really like about you is that you're young and you're inspiring young people to get into their heart. And how does that feel for you?
It's been a passion of mine for a long time, just sharing a message. I believe I was gifted with the insight of how to take care of myself so well that I don't have to worry about me anymore, and I can really focus on how do I help others. So growing up in that environment, knowing that, hey, I'm fine, how do I focus on helping others, it really inspires me, and it gives me a passion to go help others figure out how to do the same for themselves.
Well, you're inspiring people, a whole generation of people actually, look more into their heart than, in a way, not what they can get, but what they can contribute. How do you put that?
Absolutely. Glad you asked. My main focus is teaching people how to do value creation versus value extraction. So many people right now in any part of the world usually are focused on a mindset of how do I get mine? How do I extract? How do I, if I'm going to put in my hours, how do I get my money? If I'm going to give you this, how do I get that? And they're always extracting something. They're always looking for what they can get from it instead of what they can give to it. And just focusing on the mindset of, how do I deliver so much value, or how do I give so much of myself, or how do I share even more of this knowledge or ideas or thoughts or strategies, anything I have? How can I give that so much so that it would be ridiculous for anyone not to send it back my way?
I like that. What is it, that thing you have about heart?
Yeah, heart contribution. I always say it's HE and then art in parentheses, because contribution has to come from the heart, but there's an art about it. There's a very unique strategy that everyone has something to give. They just have to identify what they have and what is their way of sharing that. Everyone's got something, but for some people it's listening, for some people it's sharing, for some people it's strategies or ideas, or a good thought, a good idea. Everyone's got a piece, but they've got to identify their art form to be able to share with the world.
So do you think this is something that this next generation is going to need to focus on, or we just want to, or it's a nice thing to do?
I think truthfully, every generation needs it. I think the young ones are growing up more with it right now, because if you focused on the last few generations, there was a generation who were taught, we went through the Depression, we've got to save. You got to hold on to everything. You got to, just in case. You never know when a hard time's going to hit. You better have some extra 10 pounds of beans in the closet just in case. And then the next generation was so opposite, because they saw their parents always hoarding and skimping and not spending anything. They said, I'm going to work so hard that I can have everything, and I'm going to give my kids everything they desired. And so they gave these kids everything. And at that point, you got a bunch of kids who are used to getting everything, earning nothing, and have no emotional muscle of how to really produce themselves. So now comes to a point where these kids are used to being handed everything. They have entitlement mentality. And so that has to start shifting from extraction of entitlement. Like, I deserve this. Why don't I get my piece? I graduated. Where's my job? I got a good job. Where's my house? I want a nice car. Where is it? To, what? How do I go out in the world and create so much value that I can easily produce those things? And then once you do it, you realize it's not that big of a deal. And you start to see, wow, all these little pieces I was giving is what really made the difference.
So this is a different philosophy, as you've described, from the ways most of us grew up. But at times that philosophy was described as, being nice, or doing, nice things for the world. But you're saying this is at the core of how we should live our lives. It's not about just being nice.
Exactly. It's not nice to do anymore. It's necessity. And what's interesting, if you look at seasons of the world, there's summer, spring, winter, fall. Right now we're in a winter. And what's interesting, I think this economy of what's currently going on today can change tomorrow either way, up or down. But with what's currently going on, I think it's beautiful only because of the fact it creates some stress, it creates some tension, and it's no longer willing to pay someone for something they don't love to do.
It's interesting with that analogy, with this being the winter, as you said. Normally during winter, people get closer. They get cozy, they move in together, or they stay closer together, holidays, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what's happening because the economy, people are moving in together, and some of them are getting closer, banding together. And so you're saying that there's good in that.
Absolutely. I went and lived probably 4 or 5 years ago. I went and lived in a village in East Africa. There was no running water, no electricity, no toilets. Lived there for 3 months teaching organic farming in English. And while I was there, you see some of the most internally rich human beings you'll ever meet in your life. And the little things make the biggest difference in their life. Having a good friend, having a great conversation is true wealth to them, not having a cool car or buying a new outfit. So it's beautiful. You see true wealth coming from them. And Sunday is a holy day where they all get together and just cherish being with each other. And they walk for miles just to congregate and be around. And it's such a beautiful thing where, these days to go see your family, like you said, now people are getting together. Before, people would be ticked off to have to drive 10 minutes up the road to go see grandma. It's like, I'll just call her. Or I'll conference her on the computer or something because I'm not going to drive 10 minutes.
We're too busy. We're too busy acquiring things and making other things happen.
Exactly. So there's beauty in this. It is hard. It is different. But at the same time, there's beauty there. And like you said, some people freeze to death in the winter and other people go skiing or sit around the fire with the family and sing songs. So it's all a mental choice.
This is so great coming from you because we hear some of this from some people out there, but it's another generation, and not everybody can associate with that. But here, you're, if you don't mind me saying, you're in your early 20s, and you're saying, it's not that I don't care about all that stuff, but we're setting a whole new pace, and maybe what we're doing is we're looking at a whole new a paradigm as to what success is.
Absolutely. And that's the fun part, is success has been based so much on things and stuff. And don't get me wrong, go get it. I've got mine. I've worked hard for it. Trust me, I work night and day and have fun doing it. And I don't really think I work only because I love what I do. I'm passionate about helping people. I'm passionate about making a difference. I'm passionate about spreading the message. And having that vigor in life, it wakes you up and you feel excited to go do it. And at the same time, when you work that hard, you can earn all this stuff. There's nothing wrong with having it. At the same time, what you learn fulfills you in the long run. There's a difference between pleasure and fulfillment. All those things you acquire will give you pleasure, and that lasts for a while. Fulfillment is what lasts for a lifetime, looking back going, wow, I gave that. I shared this piece of my heart and soul. I put that to work. I put that energy into this project, and bingo, that's the result that's going to last a lifetime.